All right, it's FTP Friday. You know what that means. Fuck the Packers, everybody. I do not own the rights to this music.
Here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out Kneecap Body by Jeremy Smokin'.
That's right, it's Lions Man Cave Chat. We do this every Friday. I got my boys with me. I got DC8091, Christopher Smith, a Lions fan in Packers country, Dan Leonard, a Lions fan in Giants clothing, and Big Dan Davis from Mount Clemens. How's it going tonight, boys?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
All right, according to the injury report, we have 6 players out now. The big ones on that list is DeShawn, Elliot, and Iffy Melifonwu. And the only reason why I say those are the big ones is because we are limited at safety with Tracy Walker out. How do you think this affects the game, and if it does at all? DC, you go first.
Not good. One of Miami's go-to plays is just send their 2 speedsters down and 2 pulls and prays. And for that, we're going to need safety help deep to catch those receivers. So those are going to be 2 killers. On the other hand, Kirby has a chance to show up and be a ball hawk. But yeah, missing those guys when running the deep to defend those deep routes is going to suck ass.
I agree. Just a second before I get to you, Chris, we got a couple comments real quick. Keegan Ecker comes in. Hey, Leonard, how do you feel about the Kadarius Toney trade?
I'm fucking ecstatic. What do you mean? How do I feel about it? I only went to bamboozle them into taking freaking Kenny Galladay as well. I hate Kadarius Toney. Shit. I've been saying for like a month now, let's trade him for freaking Elijah Moore since he's too.
You know, and Kenny, like I said, Kenny Galladay has been an injury concern ever since he's been there. Oh, look, I believe it's Big Dom. How's it going? And Ken Bowler comes in and says, hello, guys. How's it going? Going great, Dad.
All right.
That's my dad there that's talking, my 73-year-old dad that I took to his first game at Ford Field when we played the Seahawks.
Could have picked a better game.
No, not really, because you know what? We scored a lot of points in that game.
It's one of those games we most of us thought we would win, but
I didn't.
But look, it's funny because remember that was one of those games where I'm like, oh, we're going to lose because we should win. And remember I said we were going to lose both games in Jersey. And now it's really looking like we will, but for legitimate reasons because those teams are good.
That being said, we had fun. It was a great game. Had fun before, after, and during the game. Chris Smith, what do you think about DeShawn Elliott and Iffy Melifonwu being out?
I was about to say it's definitely going to be a next man up proposition, and I agree with DC. Kirby, this is his chance to shine and show all the stuff that he was talking about in that interview of being a ball hawk.
My dad says unless the defense can step it up, it looks like 3 upcoming losses to me. I'm not scared of Green Bay right now at all.
Me neither.
They look horrible. That being said, Dom, what do you think about that news about the 2 safeties being out?
It's a bummer with Elliot because he's been playing pretty well. Iffy, it seems like if you blink, you miss him. It took him how long to get back and get healthy, and now he's hurt again. Is that Leonard next to me talking about Dom eats crayons?
Yes.
Were you watching my previous podcast that I just got off of where candy corn was compared to crayons?
No, I
You just knew.
actually no. I said that.
Philly Jim was like, oh, so you like to eat crayons? And I'm like, no, I've eaten crayons. I kind of like to eat. People hate on candy corn because it's the thing to do nowadays.
And Facebook user says, hey, guys. Hello, Facebook user, whoever you are. Leonard, what do you think about that news about the safeties?
I don't think it affects the outcome at all because I said that the Dolphins are going to blow you guys away. It's just going to change the way that they do it now because you're going to have to keep your guys deep to help prevent the pass. Raheem Mostert's going to run for $150.
Nah.
Yep.
Stop it.
No, I'm serious.
Big Dan.
I think the Dolphins are a lot better team than people give them credit for. And Mostert, when he's healthy, he's a goddamn good back.
Yeah, you said the key words there. When he's healthy.
And what has he been this year?
Right, so the clock's ticking.
Right. The injury's happening sooner or later. Hopefully, soon. Dad, Big Dad.
It sucks. DeShawn Elliot has been playing really well for us this year, and now Juju Hughes, who's stepping in his place, is going to have a big game to help try to slow down Hill and Waddle. I'm rooting for them. I hope they do well. So.
Juju Hughes has been hit or miss at safety. I do like him.
Yeah.
But he's going to have to step up because he's the one that's probably going to be filling DeShawn Elliott's role. Whereas Kirby Joseph, he's actually done better while replacing Iffy Melifonwu than Iffy Melifonwu has done at safety because it's his first year at safety. It's like being a rookie all over again when he does play.
Yep, yeah. And he's been hurt at doing it at the same time.
I understand, but actually he didn't play until 2 weeks ago against the Patriots, or 3 weeks ago against the Patriots, and his second game was against the Cowboys. And it's a minor injury, it's something out. I even think it said personal reasons or something, but oh, Stephen King says, I didn't realize StreamYard had me blocked. Yeah, until you click their link and do that all over again, it does that. Oh. And my dad asked a great question about last week's game. How about that interception that wasn't? I thought they were supposed to review all interceptions. It was brought up by Erin Andrews, wasn't it? That she was standing right next to the review booth that they're supposed to go to after every turnover, and they never even went and looked under the hood.
Well, Romo said it.
And Romo said it was not an interception.
No, Romo said, why aren't they reviewing it?
Right. Romo, but he said it wasn't an interception when he watched the replay. And Gene Cessatori, the lead analyst from that used to be a ref, even said that was not an interception. He goes, that's a travesty of what they're doing to Detroit. And that led to another 6 points.
Doesn't matter if it's an interception or not.
I'm going to be an asshole.
Called an interception.
Right.
And once again, in a Lions game, I witnessed history. That is the first time in my life since they started reviewing all turnovers where it was not reviewed. They even went to a damn commercial and still didn't review it.
Right.
They did the flag earlier in the game. And I was like, oh, is that our payback from that playoff game 8 years ago? Are we even?
Yeah, and they actually announced it the wrong way. Every time there's a flag thrown and there's no flag on the play, all you've ever heard is a ref saying there's no flag on the play. Only 2 times in the history of the NFL that I've been watching, and I watch lots of games, have I heard refs say there's no flag for pass interference on the play.
Oh.
Last Sunday and 8 years ago in the playoffs.
Right. That being said, Keegan Eckert makes a great point here. He says C.J. Moore, Juju Hughes, and Kirby Joseph, those are the players to watch for at the safety this week. Absolutely. Because they're going to have to play it.
Yep.
JB, Also, that saying there's no penalty for pass interference has actually happened a bunch of times this year with the rookie referees. They're explaining what the flags are for there because fans were getting pissed off. It happened in the Giants game, and they explained it on the telephone.
Oh, it's just stupid to say it that way.
The refs suck. They're disappointing.
Facebook user says, "What up, guys?"
What's up,
And
user?
What's
Fake
going
Man
on?
Campbell comes in and says, 4th and 21, there will be a draw play. I don't care what you think.
You know why that is? That's because
Ooh, I'm a man my manners right now. I'm a man my manners.
Uh-huh.
that fake Dan Campbell learned to coach from Gilbride because that was his play.
Right.
I wonder if Dan Campbell and Holmes got that morning apology call saying, "I'm sorry, we fucked up."
You know they did, but he said it after the Ravens game. He goes, "We'll get the customary call on Monday or Tuesday saying we got the call wrong, but they're not going to change the record, so they don't care." And Brian Roy says, "Hi, guys." And Logan Erickson says, "What's up?" That being said, I got to go to my notes for the second topic, and we're going to start with Big Dan after I ask it.
All right.
I will say about an apology the same thing that I've said to multiple crappy ex-girlfriends of mine. Instead of saying sorry, how about just don't do it so you don't have to apologize? Because eventually the sorries start to mean less and less. Don't be sorry,
Yes,
just don't do it
we all
again.
experienced that.
To us.
Well,
Stop. That's horrible. And after the show, we need to have a discussion.
I still think the NFL should hire the refs as full-time employees like they do in every other league and hold them to an accountability of an 85% or better call rate, or they get suspended for a game.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. Make it like any other job. When you screw up, you get a verbal warning, then you get a write-up, then you get suspended, then you get fired.
And fake Jared Goff says, "I am checking down all game."
I don't think
Campbell said that he wanted to challenge the pick, but they had tech difficulty. No, that was not what he was talking about. Because he can't challenge the pick because it's automatically reviewed.
Right.
What he was trying to challenge was the touchdown play, but because they rushed to the line and all the refs had their focus towards the goal line, they didn't see Campbell throw the flag. That was the only one he was pissed about because he was trying to review the spot.
Mm-hmm.
Also, JB, I
Yeah.
don't think they could hold the refs to an 85% standard like that because there's 5 or 6 of them on the field there, and they always end up conversing. And not everybody's going to see the same thing that the other guy's going to. And depending on their angle, they may realistically not see it.
Well,
That's what they have crew chiefs for.
it's pretty bad that USFL, that uses the skybox, had a 92% correct penalty call during their shitty first year, but that's because they used the sky judge to review all penalties that could change the outcome of the game.
That sounds pretty good to me.
And it only added a total of 12 minutes to each game. 12 minutes does not make it fall outside of the realm that they want the games to fall in that 3.5 to 4 hour format.
I'd also say make those calls down from New York broadcast.
Oh, this is somebody that knows me personally when they're saying it this way. I want to try Pascal at free safety at Jeremy. The fake Aaron Glenn.
I was going to say earlier, imagine if we had any other linebackers, that they could let Rodriguez float back to safety.
He's too small.
They let him in.
Yeah, he's plenty big for a safety. He's too small for a linebacker.
Right. That being said, the next topic, Dan. Hutch had a PFF grade as a rusher at DN in the 50s, and as a linebacker, it's mid-80s. At Michigan, it was 60s at DN and 90s as a linebacker. I think they found a home as an outside linebacker rusher for Hutchinson. What do you think?
Hell yeah, they did, and they finally listened to me. I think they went back and watched how he was used at Michigan, and they're starting to use him the right way. Better late than never, I guess. I love the move, and I hope they keep doing it.
Leonard?
That Hutch needs that angle coming from the linebacker position. I don't think he's strong enough at the point of attack to be on the defensive line and win those battles against offensive linemen consistently. Put him in the outside linebacker position just helps out his abilities there.
And Timothy Becker comes in and says, "What's up? Good to see you, Tim." That's Maniac Tim that joined me last weekend when I went and met Herman Moore.
Nice.
Dom, did you hear the question about Hutch with the difference between DN and linebacker?
No, but I think I pretty much got the gist of it. They put him in a position to succeed, and he succeeded.
Exactly.
Go figure.
He was ranked in the 50s as a pass rusher because all he was getting pressures and very few sacks as a DN. They move him outside. He has 3 QB hits, 8 pressures, and 3 sacks in the game versus Dallas as linebacker, and his rushing grade was in the 80s.
Right. Well, not only that, but Kaminsky and Pascal helped a lot.
Well, right, because now you actually got some people that could eat up blocks and free up a pass rusher.
Also, by the way, the Dolphins are 6th worst in passing yards against. So I expect a shootout.
I do too.
Did you guys see how much in his debut Pascal was double teamed in his debut?
Yeah, he was double teamed on a minimum of 12 plays.
Yep.
That being said, what do you think about that, Chris?
I mean, I agree with y'all on that because, like I say, just to kind of throw a different bone out there, I'll say Rodriguez, he'd be great at middle linebacker because he got the speed, and as far as the size, it can adjust because for the simple fact he's small, but he's quick on his feet, and I think that he would be a great quarterback spy. And for Aiden Hutchinson, like y'all said, I mean, with Josh Pascal and those people coming in, it frees up him. But I would definitely keep him more at a 2-point stance like he's been doing because he's surgical at linebacker from what the stats are saying. So that's what I definitely agree with everyone.
Yeah. DC?
I think it's a no-brainer, but I do think that it was Campbell who said the reason why they were playing him down at DN so often was primarily due to injuries and depth. So that's one thing. But now that everyone's healthy and he can be on the edge, he can be a terror. But on the other hand, he's got experience of playing both. That in a couple of years, you can play him anywhere and he's going to be effective.
You know what made the biggest impact on the entire defense this past week?
Kaminsky
and Pascal.
You're close.
Oh.
What's that?
Healthy scratching Michael Brockers.
Oh, that was the biggest boon to the defense all the way. I said that immediately. As soon as I saw that, I said, damn, we got a chance to win. The defense might do something.
Addition by subtraction, just like when we traded Jeremy Grant.
And he might be on the trade block, so maybe we can get like a 7th rounder for him or something.
Rico Beard, welcome to the show. I see you're watching. And then he says, here's the thing. Mike Valenti said the Lions nor winning.
Does every week. What's the difference?
He says he hasn't changed that sentiment in God knows how long.
That's a stick. He's a Shrek.
He's not even a Lions fan. He's a Giants fan.
Valenti actually said that we could very easily win this game.
Rodrigo in the middle, Hutch and Aquara on the outside.
Yep.
Pascal. Charles Harris is hurt, so he won't be playing there. And since Aquara is hurt, who should be starting on the outside with Hutch for the time being? It's going to be Julian Aquara and Austin Bryant, more than likely.
Yeah, where's he been?
That's the lineup right there, though.
But he's actually Austin Bryant's been used primarily in special teams lately, and it's been driving me batshit crazy because when he was
Yeah,
in those
yeah,
first couple of weeks, he
yeah.
was making plays.
Yep, he got injured and then went back to special teams. So who knows why?
Darcy Melville says Jeff is a box safety. You can't move the guy that's been by far our best corner to safety right now.
No, you can.
And Brian Roy says Brockers has to go. And Ken Baldrick says, hey, DC, what kind of Coke is that?
Sam Adams Oktoberfest.
Awesome.
I knew it. I knew it.
Mike Valenti said the Lions won't win since Moby Dick was a guppy. That's kind of funny. That being said, I think it's a great move, and it's something we've been calling for as fans since week one. Why hasn't Hutch been lining up at linebacker? Because of what we saw when he was lining up at linebacker at Michigan, those of us that paid attention to Michigan.
I don't know why anybody pays attention to Michigan.
Well, there's a few of us that do.
I just said I don't know why. I didn't say it was wrong. I just said I don't know why.
And this isn't going to be the best deep offensive line we played all year either, so that's going to help him get some definitely more looks this week. Dallas had a way better offensive line than Miami does.
All right. While some question being conservative at the end of the first half, they had a lead and was receiving the kickoff in the second half. I think it showed a little maturation as a coach to not be so aggressive at the end of the first half. What is your guys' opinion, DC?
Agreed. I mean, the fact is, if we had Chark out there, or if we had Williams out there, if we had someone who could take the top off and at least make, a good, realistic run for a field goal without being too risky, that'd be one thing. But I have no problems with it. It was a fine move.
Chris?
Yeah, I was about to say I agree with DC. I mean, if you could get somebody open as far as that would have opened up some free spots to actually do what we needed to do, but at the same time, I mean, we had to get what we needed to get.
Dom?
I get it, but I don't get it. But I get it, but ultimately I don't get it because I get it from the standpoint of, okay, I've got to do something different and try to be conservative. But at the same time, you can't expect that defense to keep holding up the way it is, nor would you think that the offense was going to be as stale as it was. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Leonard?
We've all shit on him and his aggressiveness for the past 5 weeks, 6 weeks. The one time he actually does the smart play call and the conservative thing there, everybody's still going to shit on him. You had the lead, did the same thing because you're getting the ball back in the second half. I'm pretty sure he didn't expect your defense to be that crap in the second half and your offense to go that flat.
But he should have expected the defense to do that because...
Well, here's why the defense did it. We weren't sustaining drives, so the defense gets gassed. That's what happened to that defense. The defense was doing fine until they got gassed, and then it was like, oh, there's a touchdown. Oh, there's a field goal. Oh, there's a touchdown.
And that's not a Lions defense issue. That's NFL football.
Yes.
Exactly. Big Dan?
Yeah, he needed to be conservative. Like, I get it. People wanted him to be aggressive in certain spots, but being aggressive all the time, teams were prepared for it, and he wasn't catching anyone off guard anymore. So, I mean, he needed to slow it up.
I mean, at one point we were 7-12. By the time it was at the end of the Patriots game, he was 7 of 18.
Jesus.
What?
The Pistons lost by 24. Weren't we only down like 2 or 4?
4.5. Yeah.
4. 51 to 55.
136 to 112.
Oof, something
The
fell
Hawks
apart.
just have our number.
The
They
Hawks
fell
are a
apart
really
in the
good
second
team,
half.
too.
Trae Young tore us up in that second half, the entirety of the game.
And like I said, our early successes came against other teams that were bad with that. And when I look... And Darcy Mavell says, I get not taking the timeout before the third down, but once they got the first down, they should have tried a chunk play and used the timeouts to at least get field goal range. You know what? It is what it is. You know, when a coach is starting to mature before you, he's going to do the opposite of what he had been doing. We all griped about how aggressive he was and how stupid it was and everything else. And then when he does the smart field position thing, because he's getting the ball back, we gripe again. That makes no sense to me.
Yep, agreed.
That's what I just said.
And Stephen King, the Pistons have had my Raptors number in the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Keegan Ecker says, I believe the worst thing about the Finns is the defense. We are possibly getting St. Brown back, but Swift is we are getting St. Brown back. He was a full participant except today.
It's
the other way around. Amon-Ra is for sure playing. Swift, we hope, is.
No, Swift is playing. He is playing. We should be able to play well on the offense. Defense will have to step up again. You know what? As long as they have Hutch on the outside and they run that defense like they did last week, I think we're going to see more success on defense.
Absolutely.
And overall, the way it's gone with Campbell being super aggressive, like I get it, people complain, but when your defense is that bad, that's what you've got to do. So given that particular situation in the game, that was the right call to be conservative because his defense was finally playing better.
Exactly. That was the point.
Yeah.
People are always going to bitch if it doesn't work.
Yep.
Ain't that true?
Who was bitching when we went, 5 for 5 on fourth down?
Right. No one was bitching then. But as soon as he missed one, why is he so aggressive?
The only time I really ever had a problem with it is when we weren't past the 50 and on that 4th and 1. Other than that, like when we're in field goal range and he goes for it, I understood it because we had issues with our kicking game.
Well, we were down big too. When you're down big and you're near the 50, so in other words, if you're between the 40s and it's 4th and 1, it's not a great place to punt from. It's not a good place to kick a field goal from. So you go for it.
Right.
Only thing there, you guys have the best punter in football. How's it not a good place to kick from?
True, but we also have the best offensive line group in football. If you can't get 1 yard with that offensive line group, even when everyone knows it's coming.
Yeah, the play calls, putting Jamal Williams at fullback and doing a handoff, that had a head scratcher, but
I'm going to address this one. I still think they need to try to trade Hutchinson. If they would not have picked up the 5th-year option, that makes sense. By picking up the 5th-year option, that means it's a big dead cap because he's a first-round pick for 2 straight years. We don't have that much in cap room to take any more big cap hits.
Yeah, we don't even have $2 million, I don't think so.
No, I mean for next year, we only got 18 and a half before the cap goes up.
Right.
Or 19 and a half, somewhere in that range. So let's say you want to take that $15 million cap hit. Now you have $3.5 million. That's not even enough.
That bad, but
that's not even enough to even get too much of nothing.
That's not even enough to sign your rookie draft picks.
And realistically, what do you think you're going to get for Hutchinson?
Because he's had 1 good game.
you're not going to get enough to make it worth it.
I've seen a lot of messed up suggestions today in articles about people. This one guy from Detroit Sports Nation thought we could get a first round pick for him. No, that wouldn't happen.
Oh, that's just someone trying to write.
Probably like a 4th
talking out of their ass.
I tell you who we could get a first round pick for.
Who?
Taylor Decker from the Rams. But oh wait, we already have their first round pick for next year.
Exactly.
Yep.
You couldn't take that cap hit.
Right. They just restructured him again, didn't they?
Yep.
Well, the way you solve the Hutchinson issue is you don't draft him there. But we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah. I don't think any of us wanted him there anyway, but.
All right, I'm going to start with Big Dan. Keys to the game versus Miami. What do you think they are?
Defensively, we got to do something to figure out a way to slow down Hill and Waddle, whether that means putting a bracket on one or two of them. We got to slow them down. And, of course, offensively, no turnovers. 0. Can't have any.
Dan Leonard.
I don't know what you want me to say here, man. I always feel like I'm the downer on it. I honestly, Miami's got a damn good offense. If Tua's just semi-decent, I don't see the defense with all their injuries right now being able to stop them. Even if you freaking double team both freaking Waddle and Tyreek Hill, Gesicki you'll still throw up 100 yards. Raheem Mostert can put up over 100 yards. They have probably one of the most stacked offenses in all of football.
Okay, I got to say something here because we had a comment come in before I get to Dom. Keegan Eckerd, the only reason why people don't like Campbell aggressive is when we went against the Patriots. We were 0 for 6, not 0 for 8. We only tried on 6. You got to look at your stats better.
And I disagree with that, Keegan Eckerd. I've said you guys had more balls than brains all season.
And then said, well, they were stupid for picking up his option. They did it in the offseason. That's not stupid. It's smart because it keeps it under the rookie cap.
Yep.
Control the time of possession. Keep Miami offense off the sidelines. Tyreek Hill as well, DC, to slow down. He said that. I loved how Elliot was hitting. Big loss there. Juju isn't ready. Breeze and more. Breeze is gone. Breeze has been gone.
Yeah, he's been gone. So.
It's going to be Juju Hughes, CJ Moore, and Kirby Joseph.
Yeah, Juju Hughes is getting the start in place of Elliot.
Right. And that's exactly what even without knowing that, that's what I thought automatically off the top of my head because that's who he was filling in for when Elliot went off the field.
Yeah.
They should run.
They need to hope Tua can get injured again. You're not wrong, but at the same time, I don't wish for any player to get injured that's not named Karen Rodgers.
Right.
That's right, JB.
If we get enough,
you already know.
If we get enough pressures on Tua and we can hit him good a couple of times, 2-3 times, he may go down. I mean, I don't understand why they're playing him. It's for the man's health. Like he's had 2 concussions this year. That's insane.
Medical checks now.
He's cleared all the medical checks, and he is the best quarterback option they got. Yeah. So if you want to win, you play Tua. And they were expected to be a playoff team.
And he got yelled at last week by his coaches. Did you see that?
Yeah, because he's not making good decisions. I think there's still something rattling around loose in that head.
No, he got yelled at because he freaking lowered his shoulder and tried to play for more yards.
Oh, yeah.
Said, I don't ever want to see you lower your shoulder. Just throw the fucking ball away.
Dom, what do you think the keys are to the game?
What the fuck is that?
Honestly, I don't know how good Miami's defense is, but I think we stand a better chance. I don't know. I want to say get into a shootout, but I would rather. Either way, it's no good. We have a better chance of winning if Miami's putting the ball in the hands of Raheem Mostert because eventually he'll get hurt. But
Miami has the 21st ranked defense I read earlier, so it's a little bit better than ours, but
yeah, their pass defense is terrible. Honestly, win a shootout and win the turnover battle.
That's pretty much it. Chris?
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna say we just need to keep on doing what we're doing, like what we did last week. Just keep doing it, just putting more pressure on Tua, because if we give him enough time to get it to those receivers that can burn us out, oh man, we in for a long day. We need to pretty much chop the snake at the head, and that's Tua, because if he get it downfield, we're done because we got nothing but rookies in the back.
DC.
Well, you guys are going to call me a Bush League redneck, but I first and foremost say send the goddamn kitchen sink after Tua and hit him every chance we get. You don't need to put him out, but what you need to do is manipulate that fucking NFL concussion protocol and have them say, oh, no, he's hit on the head. He's already a risk. Manipulate the shit out of that and get him out of the game. Hopefully we're not hitting him too bad, but manipulate that concussion rule left and right. Take the penalty. Fuck it. Take the penalty. Take him out. Other than that, offensively, use Swift and St. Brown. Use Huck and St. Brown to open up Swift, or go between the three of those to one of those get open, and we can slice that defense up pretty damn quick. No Tua and those three running, the game's ours.
Okay, here's my take. When's the last time the Lions have had 6 straight games where they rushed for over 100 yards as a team?
Barry Sanders.
We've just done that for 6 straight games. We've had over 100 yards rushing in every game.
Damn it. No one else said it, and I didn't know if you were going to or not, but you said it.
And we faced a supposed number 1 defense, correct, in the Philly?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We faced the Dallas defense, who's supposed to be a great run defense too, correct?
Yep.
We faced the Patriots, which is a good run defense. I can't say anything about the Commanders. We put up more yards on the ground against Minnesota than they did against us, right?
Yep.
And this has all been Jamal Williams.
Here's the thing. Yes, the Lions are the highest pressure rate, but the sacks are coming because the right people are playing healthy right now.
Yep.
We got Aleem McNeil starting with Comiskey next to him in that 4-2-5 and Pascal on the one end. And I believe it was who was playing at the other end last time. It wasn't Brockers. I didn't see Austin
Taylor?
Bryant. Demetrius Taylor's gone.
I think they were just kind of rotating guys in and out.
Yeah, because you didn't see Akuda much, and you didn't see Brian much. So,
but basically, Jeremy, the same thing I've been saying since the preseason. Like, come out the season, run it some more, until they can stop it.
Right, and that's basically what they've been doing. And once the run's been shut down, that's when they went pass heavy, which is what they're supposed to do. That being said, what they haven't done is use the run to set up the play action pass. We did it the first few weeks, and then we went away from it. We need to get back to that.
Which is crazy.
The biggest thing is the last 2 weeks we haven't had DeAndre Swift in there, which is when the play action pass was working. When it was just Jamal Williams, it only worked 1 week, and that was against a weak Seattle defense.
True.
Yep.
I'm not wrong.
No, you're not.
Need the
But
to do that.
I still don't. I don't necessarily understand why. I mean, I guess maybe because Swift is better in the pass game, but Jamal Williams is no slouch. Like, you should be, if you can run the ball as successfully as we have almost all season, you should be able to set up the pass. And as we all know, Jared Goff statistically for the last, he has the highest passer rating in the entire NFL in play action.
Yes. No, there's one higher than him in play action, and of course, it's Tom Brady.
Well, defenses are going to let Jamal Williams eat a small gain up instead of risking a pass, particularly when they're down like that.
And
so it's going to be not effective.
I'm going to say this to Justin Gonzalez. Evidently, you haven't been watching any of the pressers from Dan Campbell. He just said he isn't quite ready, but he will be playing this year. He was moved from the NFI injured reserve to the PUP, which means he'll be playing in less than 4 weeks now because last week was the first week on the PUP. Am I wrong on that?
No, Campbell also said he's about another month away. So
that's 4
December?
weeks. He's going to play in November. It's October.
Okay.
That
You're
puts him. That puts him in play for either the Bills game or the Jaguars game, if I'm doing my math right.
Yeah, he don't want none of this
the
New York.
deal.
It's a shame he didn't heal sooner and that the trade deadline isn't later. Because trade him for Roquan Smith right now.
You can't trade. You can't trade a first-round pick in the first year.
Well, you can. It's just not smart.
Right.
Yep.
Especially when you're cap-strapped.
Yep.
True.
If you didn't have an overpaid quarterback, it'd make it possible.
Well,
At $30.5 million, he's not overpaid. That's the problem. You guys don't get it. If he was a rookie quarterback, he wouldn't be making that, and I get that. But we picked up a fully guaranteed contract is the problem when we traded for him. So we restructured it to make it more palpable. Otherwise, he'd be making $42.5 million and right underneath Kyler Murray.
I can't believe how quarterbacks just freaking bamboozle freaking teams anymore. I can't. But God damn it.
I mean, Deshaun Watson, Kyler Murray, Matthew Stafford, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson.
Lamar Jackson's about to get a bag.
Yeah, but it might not be from the Ravens.
It might be
I think that.
All I'm saying is I'm back to where I was originally on JMO. I don't like the pick because we don't need him, and it was a luxury pick.
It was, and I said when we picked him because he was injured. It's more about the future of the team than it was from this year.
I get that. I still wish we would have taken like a Devin Lloyd there or something, but I'm happy we got JMO though. But yeah,
I want to put something else out to the world. Fuck that Devin Lloyd guy. Dirty player. Dirty player.
Is he?
He's the one that took out Bellinger's eye.
Oh yeah. You guys still won. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but now my tight end can't freaking see it. He might not be back this season. He's the only one we had that was any good at catching in the red zone.
That's awesome. He took out an eye. Sweet.
Jamal Williams.
I saw somebody griping about Vitai's salary again because he's injured. I guess they don't understand about the restructure they did. He goes, he still makes way too much money for a guard. I said, really? He makes less than the 14th best guard in the league. And when he played last year, he was one of the top 5 guards in the league.
Yep. Someone always
Jamal
wants to
Williams this year, 4.5 per carry.
Yep. What's DeAndre Swift this year?
That was immediately what I went to next. It's not a large enough sample size. It's 8.6.
Exactly. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Oh yeah, when you get like
150-yard gain. He had a 50-yard gain in there too. So
he had 2, 1 in each week.
2. Yep. So take those 2 games out. It's back down to 4 something.
What's his total yardage, Joe, on this season, Dom?
231 rushing.
129 is it passing or receiving?
I don't see his receiving yards all of a sudden. No, 77. Only.
Oh, okay.
That's soft. SAWFT. Soft.
That's HURT.
He only played 3 games.
That's because he's mid at best.
Stop.
Could have had.
Finished the year ahead of Bryce Hall, that's for sure.
Could have had whoever, and then
Nick Chubb.
Right. Well, here's the thing. Like Pascal ended up going because that's where we slid down in the second. Walker was already gone, but I would not have taken Walker that high in the second.
Yes, you would have. Right now, you would have.
Now, but back then, I said if he's still there in the third, take him.
Brees Hall is still there, though, right?
Yeah, I think so.
That's unfortunate. He ripped up his knee, man. He was having a good year.
We share the same
Enzo and he goes, I love the Enzo and Cass reference, Leonard.
You're welcome.
That being said,
one of the guys cultured.
That being said, what else do you guys want to talk about tonight?
Did I share with you those random Brees Hall factoids?
No.
And he's out again.
We have the same birthday.
Oh yeah, you shared him in the chat.
Oh yeah, I was going to say. Well, for anyone else who wasn't in there, same birthday, May 31st. His dad was actually a quarterback at Henry Ford. Led them to like 3 straight city titles, 27 straight wins. He was like the sixth best rated prospect going into college that year. Like Jeff George was number 1. And he also went to the other high school in Wichita, not the Barry Sanders one. Wichita, whatever, north, south, whichever.
No, it's
Central, middle.
Stephen King asks about Sheila Hamp's comments. I think they were exactly what exactly what the fans needed to hear. You know, she said, yes, I'm frustrated with the record. We're all frustrated, but I believe in Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell and this coaching staff, that they are the right guys to get the job done, which tells me they're back next year no matter what the record is this year.
I mean, you have to say that. She said what she had to. The problem is, and I said this before,
and she specifically said it was a teardown last year, and we all knew it was, and that it is a rebuild.
And that's the thing, because, you know, have we been essentially rebuilding since the 50s? Yes. But this, and right when it happened, this is the most thorough teardown and rebuild I've ever seen, because it had to be.
And I said all along it was going to be 2023 or 2024 when we'd see the results, but we all bought into the hype of Hard Knocks. Did we not?
Yes.
Well, we also bet that
didn't.
No one thought that we'd have this many injuries either. That's what's number one killing.
That was the one thing that me and Dom said. In order for any of the good stuff to happen, we had to stay healthy.
Dan said it too.
Yeah, we all said that. I said we could get to 7 to 10 pending health.
I think we all
just
assumed we wouldn't have this many injuries because of the bad luck last year. But when you're short on starting talent and depth, and the thing is, like it was not a good idea from the beginning to hire a head coach, then hire a GM. But the thing is, okay, let's say you hired Brad Holmes first. Who's he going to hire as a head coach? Probably some other guy that has no head coaching experience. It gives Brad Holmes a free pass for...
Want to hear something scary? What if he'd have hired the defensive coordinator, Brandon Staley, from the Rams?
Oh, God.
What's he doing now?
He's
coaching the Chargers, making them Charger.
I called that too.
He's hurting half that damn team. Slater's out. Williams is out.
Bosa's out.
Yeah, they're the other.
Mack is out.
I mean,
another team that should have rolled over that division, but they're all fucking hurt. Herbert's
we got approximately what anyone with a brain would assume we could get as far as GM and head coach. No GM with any kind of track record wants to take over that roster, nor does any head coach.
Well, I mean, it's fine, but I mean, they're doing a good rebuild, but no one's on the goddamn field, so we can't see how good they are.
And for all those guys calling for Campbell's head already, so they fire him, you're just going to get somebody else with no experience as well.
And then you're going to get another. Here's the thing. We saw it during the Millen era. Coach after coach after coach, coordinator after coordinator, scheme change after scheme change, and everybody was like, all right, we got somebody different. We're going to be better. The players still have to learn that scheme.
Exactly.
And anybody that comes out of college is usually not labeled a bust until what year? Year 3. Correct?
Right.
Well,
no matter
if you're changing coaches every 3 years, how can your players develop?
Exactly. Continuity is the key. And I said it when we hired both of them and when we traded for Goff. I said, I hope we still have Holmes and Campbell and Goff in 3 years.
And it looks like that is the trend we're going to.
I mean,
my only thing is if there's even an inkling about firing Dan Campbell at the end of the year, then just do it then, rather than the typical Lions move of he keeps his job and then he gets fired 4 weeks into next season, and then it's another lost season with an interim coach. If you're going to fire him, just fire him. Where are we at with that?
I mean,
I agree with you.
How many wins does he have to get for us to say, let's keep him?
For fans to say it, it's got to be 5 to 7 wins.
Yep.
but we haven't even seen
For
a team
Sheila to
with
say
a
it,
completely
it
healthy
has
team.
to be more than one. That's my opinion, because we are more talented on the starting side, but the depth is still the same. It's a bunch of prove-it players and practice squad players, is it not?
Mm-hmm.
By and large. But I mean,
I mean,
he has
other
really
than
the whole
rookies.
roster.
Other than rookies, is it not just the exact same thing we had on the roster for depth last year?
Yep, and the year before. And the
Yeah,
year before.
we can't afford to be as injured as we are. But let's just say hypothetically, and obviously at this point it doesn't matter with the O-line because we're just going to be good there regardless. But if we had all of the impact players on defense from week 1 till now, would we have a couple more wins?
Playing
think
like
so.
they did last week, I think we'd have at least 2 more wins.
We'd have about. I'd say we'd be we have 500 easily, if not above.
Right, which would be 3 and 3. That's what I
Yeah,
said. We'd
I
have
mean,
2 more wins.
if not 4 wins. I mean,
I'd
we
agree
wouldn't-
with that. Yeah.
So
I mean,
so are
we
we
could have
back?
already beat 2 of them.
Are we back to where we were with the original prediction? Okay, let me ask each one of you. What's the number Campbell has to hit as far as wins for you to say, okay, come on back?
I'm not going to say that until he has a healthy team.
I think they have to get at least 4 more wins. At least 4 more wins.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because everybody we're playing against that were supposed to be bad teams are not as bad as everybody projected they'd be. And some of the upper teams that we do have to play are not playing as good as we thought they would, and they look like easier games than the lower teams. Green Bay.
So what you're saying is we are going to get swept by the Bears, and we are going to sweep the Packers.
It could happen.
That's what I'm hearing.
I didn't
That's
even.
what I was saying.
You guys all thought I was crazy. Not looking so crazy now, am I?
I think we split. I think we're going to end up splitting with everybody, myself.
We're not beating the Jets or the Giants, just like I said.
No, I'm talking about in our division. I think we're going to be 3 and 3 in the division.
Well, in my opinion, I think that we're going to sweep one or the other, whether if it's going to be the Bears or the Packers. We're going to sweep one of them. But other than that...
the only reason why I said we're going to struggle with the Bears is because they do one thing great that we struggle against, and that's run, and they have a mobile quarterback.
We talked about that earlier. Yep.
That and Detroit historically has always struggled against the mobile quarterback. So, I mean, that's...
Yeah.
I mean, but granted, not everybody was healthy up front on the defense when we played those mobile quarterbacks.
True.
Exactly.
I can't wait to play a mobile quarterback. What are you talking about?
Yeah, this defense, even just a little bit healthier than it was, looked a lot better.
It does, but we still struggle with the mobile quarterbacks.
Well, we didn't really struggle with Dak because he has the mobility of a rock after his injuries.
I want Jalen Hurts already. That's what I want.
I know you want him. I don't think you do.
Lamar didn't do shit, and Lamar's faster than Jalen Hurts. He's definitely a better runner.
It's not Hurts you should be worried about. It's the other 21 starters.
Yeah. They have a whole team, and they're playing like a complete team. They're one of the scariest teams in the NFL right now, the only one undefeated.
You want to know what, though? We'll get lucky. We played them week 16 and week 18, so they're already going to have their playoff spot locked up. They're going to be resting motherfuckers.
That very possibly could be, and that could be how you get to. Remember, I had 3 teams that I didn't know what to expect out of them, and I gave them the biggest win windows. The Giants were one of them. The Jaguars were another because they looked better on paper and they got a better coach, so I didn't know what to expect out of them. Then the same with the Giants. I love Brian Daboll, the coach, and I saw what he did with Josh Allen because when Anthony Lynn had Josh Allen looked like shit because he didn't know how to coach a quarterback and give him good mechanics. He knows how to coach mobile quarterbacks. Am I wrong?
I think it's more than just mobile quarterbacks, though. I think he just understands the position. Like, some people get shit and some people don't. It's basically geometry, man. Getting the guy's mechanics right. And Anthony Lynn was an idiot.
That too.
If Anthony Lynn had Tyrod Taylor, though, you never know.
Yeah, and that's who he wanted the Lions to get.
They should have.
He was literally the first or second name that I said for bridge quarterback.
I know, but then the trade happened, and that took that right out of the water.
We won't know how it worked out until potentially 3 years from next year. So 4 years, or the rest of this season, and 3 years after that, because we still have that one more first-round pick that we got along with Goff.
Is it funny that the run game is kind of struggling in San Francisco with their assistant offensive coordinator running the show?
No. San Francisco's run game was good last year because Mike McDaniels is a fucking genius.
Right. And this year, who's that assistant offensive coordinator who got hired just before he was fired?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Anthony Lynn.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at.
McDaniels wasn't fired either. He got that lovely, cushy job down there in Miami.
Frisco's run game has been good, very good, for several years now. It's the new school Denver Broncos post Terrell Davis. Like,
yeah.
Insert running back, receive 1,000 yards.
No, I really want to know what McCaffrey can do out there if he's healthy, though.
What was the worst trade this offseason?
Drew Lock and all those fucking players and picks to the Seahawks for Russell Wilson.
Wilson, yes.
I said it. I said that would not work in Denver. Denver's going to finish in last.
So did I, man. I said if they freaking rob them, and I don't even refer to him as Russell Wilson anymore. He's Sierra's husband.
And in other NFL news, it's official that Giselle and Brady are getting a divorce.
No, they're divorced at the 25th.
It's final.
Woo-hoo. Yeah, it's final.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's official.
Oh, Leonard, what did you guys get back for Tony?
Conditional 3rd-round pick and a 6th-round pick.
Decent.
Yeah, decent. That's great considering that he's only been on the field for 4 snaps this season.
Right,
and only 2 games last season.
But he also went to the Chiefs.
You spent a 1st-round pick on that guy just last year.
I really don't give a shit, man.
He's gone. You know who's still there?
That was Gentleman's last draft, okay? Don't forget, man. He brought in Jonathan Stewart.
Oof.
On like a $14 million contract, which still in my eyes is a worse contract than they gave Galladay because Stewart was already old and shitty.
And couldn't stay healthy when he was young.
Correct. The only reason he even stayed half as healthy as he did is because he was splitting carries with D'Angelo Williams.
Mm-hmm.
No, get rid of Galladay. We're good. But there's a talk to Giants here in the mix right now and talking with Denver about getting Jerry Jeudy.
That would be a great move for you guys.
Him or Hamler, I would take either one of them.
I think you could probably get Jeudy at a discounted rate because he's kind of
the picks you got from the
underperformed.
Chiefs. Offer him the picks you got from the Chiefs, and you probably get Jeudy.
Dude, I'd love it. Because you know what? He's not a super fast receiver. He's a good route runner.
And he's got good hands.
He was supposed to be one of the most complete receivers in several years. And
he went to a team with Drew Lock, dude.
But it ended up being Justin Jefferson that was the complete receiver that year.
I'm still not
different draft year.
Was it? I thought it was the same one.
Nope, that was Ruggs, Judy, and fuck was his name? The other receiver from Alabama. What was his name?
Devontae Smith. No, that was the next year.
No. It was Judy, Ruggs. God damn it. Hold on.
Offer Slayton and a pick for Judy or Hamler.
It wasn't another Bama receiver.
No, it was LSU. Was it Terrence Marshall?
Marshall was last year.
Marshall was last year. Okay.
Terrence Marshall was 2 years ago, I thought.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought Terrence Marshall came out with Jefferson.
I'll say this, though, about Daniel Jones.
He looks good this year.
He's 6-1. He has his highest completion percentage of his career. And sure, he only has six touchdown passes, but only 2 picks.
Yep.
Damn right.
I mean, it's Saquon, and
you know
it's
what?
Also Brian Dabble.
Quit being a hater. It is Saquon.
All right.
You should be happy I finally turned my back on Daniel Jones because now he's finally playing well.
Okay, let's start with Big Dan Davis. What are your final thoughts tonight?
I hope our defense Sunday can figure out a way to slow down the tandem of Hill and Waddle. I also hope we get consistent pressure on the quarterback, and I hope we can play well in all phases of the game to finally get a good win against Miami.
Leonard?
Okay, I got 2 of them here. My first one, that Henry Ruggs, Jerry Jeudy year, that was 2020. That was.
I'm looking at it now. CD Lamb,
Jalen Reagor, Justin Jefferson, Brandon Ayuk were all first-round wide receivers there. So that's my first one. Ooh, T. Higgins was the first pick of the second round. Damn, that was a heavy wide receiver draft. Okay, and then my other final pick is the Giants are going to jail sex Geno Smith this weekend. Fuck that guy.
Dom?
You better stop that run. How's your run defense, Leonard?
Meh. They stopped in the red zone.
Well, then you better score a whole bunch of points and keep Walker on the bench. Otherwise, you're getting jail sexed by him, not Geno Smith.
He breaks out like 60-yard runners. It's not going to happen. Our goal line defense is freaking amazing. Our red zone shit is amazing.
Chris, what are your final thoughts of the night?
Well, my final thoughts is I just want us to overcome the odds and get that W.
Amen. DC?
Hit the shit out of that team on both sides of the ball and get healthy. And this goddamn league needs to look into why the rash of injuries and why everyone's missing games. It's league-wide and it sucks.
All right. I can address the injury part right now.
Yeah, we have. Yep.
Go ahead, Jeremy, but one more thing.
Less off-season. Okay. Less off-season.
Yep.
Less preseason games.
Yep.
Less conditioning. And less full contact in the off-season workouts. All of that equals soft tissue injuries piling up across the league for every team.
Body is a real thing.
My final thought is the same one I have every time. Don't forget to check out my sponsors, A1 Tire and Auto Repair. 3 locations to serve you in the Tri-Cities. 1 in Old Cuckolin, on Old Cuckolin in Cuckolin. 1 on Broadway in Bay City. And then the one where I work on Genesee Street in Saginaw. And also check out Mad Lab Custom Creations. They have excellent deals, great breaks, and also if you need something spiced up, made to look pretty, Dan Leonard does a great job painting your signed memorabilia with full-size or mini-size helmets. That being said, the other one is try every day to be a better person than you were the day before, because that's the only way to make the world a better place. Dom, What do you have to add?
Like, obviously, we're all rooting for our team because we want to see us win because we're tired of seeing us lose. But we can all agree this team is not going anywhere this year, right? We're 1-5.
Correct.
Right?
It'd take a damn miracle working.
An act of God, a divine intervention, or something like that to get us to the playoffs at this point, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
I would take no more wins the rest of the year and just a bunch of close games and
Draft position.
improvement on the team. We need that number 1 pick so we can trade it to someone to take one of these quarterbacks we don't want.
That being said, I'm going to say it again. When I've looked at all the quarterbacks, the guy I like the most is out of the mid-major conference, and I agree with Dan Davis. It's Grayson McCall. That guy does more with less than everybody else in college.
Making up the way going out of the house.
And I know what he misses and why they've actually lost a game or two this year. They missed that tight end that's playing for the Ravens, Isaiah Likely.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was his biggest chemistry guy that he had with, because he was there as soon as he started as a starter.
And
I like Grayson McCall, and I also like that Utah quarterback, Cameron Rising. He's the one to watch out for, too.
And the kid out of Boston College, is it? Phil Jerkovich?
Yep.
That is a horrible name.
It is. He's a Pollock.
He needs a better motherfucker.
It's actually Jerkovic, but yeah, it's Pollock. But
yeah. How many Pollocks does it take to throw a pick? 1. Those jokes will be coming.
You better watch your mouth there, man. I want you to just understand this, man. Baltimore ain't that far from me. I'll pull up.
Keegan Eckert has a message there for you on the screen, Leonard.
love you too, bud.
Hey, but Jones is still tripping. He tripped again. You know what? He stepped on his wide receiver's freaking foot. He's lucky he got that extra 5 yards he got.
That being said, it's been a great show. I appreciate all my guests, DC8091, Christopher Smith, Dom DeRubis, Dan Leonard, and Big Dan Davis. It has been a pleasure having all of you guys on and talking Lions football. Go Lions, one pride, and this has been Kneecap Biting the Smokin'Jeremy B, and we are going out.